Hello. So I had someone message me earlier the other day and they were bewildered that starter is alive and that it is an actual living thing that you have to feed it every day. So I wanted to go through how I feed my starter and talk about it. So this is baby Lindy. I pulled her out a couple of days ago. She's been sitting in the fridge ever since, and I'm gonna bake with her to hopefully today, but definitely tomorrow. And I need to feed her because she's not bubbly. So I don't know if you can see, but there's some bubbles, but there's not enough. So we need to make her active and bubbly. So I'm gonna set her on the scale, zero it out. This is 30 grams of starter. So my base recipe that I do is 30 grams of starter to 140 grams of 140 grams of flour to 125 grams of water. So I don't know exactly what that ratio is, but that's the ratio that I use. That's what works well in my house. So I have 30 grams of starter here. I've zeroed out my scale. The scale is the best. Like, this was like $10 at Target, and it was the best investment. So zeroed out, 125 grams of water. And I tend to find success with doing warm water, especially if I'm trying to bake that same day. But if I want to wait a few days, then I'll do cold water and I'll stick it in my fridge and I'll just let Lundy come to room temperature at her own time. And then next up we do 140 grams of starter, flour, so we zeroed out our scale again. And I'm just gonna take this tablespoon right here and just kind of dump flour in there until I get to 140. This might take a couple of tablespoons, probably actually about 10 tablespoons if my math looks right. So, and I'm not fast forwarding, I'm not cutting anything. This is all this process. There we go. Okay. So now that's it. Just take her off the scale and then Easter. I always try to use something wooden to stir with because my stepmom told me that metal kills starter, and I've been terrified to use metal ever since. So that's why I use something wooden. If you have had success with metal, teach me your ways. But yeah, you just want to make sure that this gets almost like a really thick pancake batter consistency. And you want to make sure it gets all good and mixed and combined. Combined-a-did-a-did. And toss that in there. And so that is what your starter should look like once it's freshly fed. Starters really like to be warm, so I will just gently put the lid on there. I'm not going to close it just so that way it has some form of airflow. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to take a paper towel and just tie the ring on like so. And then you want to track how it's rising. You want it to double in size in order for it to be fed. So I don't have a marker on me, but I do have a hair tie. This is my hack for the girly pops out there. And so you just take your starter, or you take your hair tie and put it to where the starter is, and then there gives you a visual feature for how long it's been for your starter to rise, and you can see where it's at. So there you go. There is a fed starter. See y'all later. Bye.